watch out, yeah. I smash out, I smash out, I smash out, yeah. I'm spending all my fucking pay.
Hey, what's up guys, it is Psycho or Sam here and welcome back to another episode of Let's Make an RPG in Unity. So today guys, we're going to check out how to actually play an animation when the player is trying to move. And if we have some time over, we're gonna start by start doing something that we're actually going to focus on the next episode, which is going to be the attack system. But maybe we even finish the attack system. But anyway, first and foremost, I want to start off by simply changing some of the core mechanics of this game that I actually coded really bad practice. So one viewer pointed out the fact that I could just move the PMR to a target location instead of spawning it over and over again, which was true, which is absolutely true, and we're actually going to implement that now. And I also want to apologize that I was a little bit flimsy in the previous episode, but I'm going to try and pick myself up because that was really like a bad example. And if I'm going to teach you guys, I need to be better than that. So I need to be on my top of my game. So let's go. First and foremost, I want to remove this if PMR spawned equals to true, and also the else statement for it, like that. And we also want to remove this, but before we do, we can actually copy this PMR instantiate, etc. So where we are basically spawning it. And let's see, there we go. We can also remove this line here, good. And then we're going to create a new void which is going to be called start. And inside of it, we're going to simply say, like literally just paste the PMR instantiate one. And oh, and also we need to change the mouse position to this.transform.position. There we go. So basically we're just spawning the PMR at whatever location the player has currently at the start of the game, and then we're going to be able to move it from there. So now we're going to say inside of the if player plane raycast, and inside of where we actually were moving like or spawning the PMR over and over again, we're just going to say PMR.transform.position is equal to let's see, the mouse position, was it right? I think I called it mouse position. Yeah, it's mouse position, cool. So this is basically going to move one single PMR that is also spawned at the start of the game to whatever mouse position the player has. So let's see if I made any other stupid mistakes here. If moving move, player plane, okay, that looks good. I think this is fixed so far. And what we also can do is, let's see, we could actually delete the PMR.cs, like the C# script for PMR, because we don't need it to destroy itself anymore. So we could just go to scripts folder and literally just delete PMR. There we go. The script, not the prefab. Okay. And also we have to edit the code a little bit. So 63, let's check what's actually there. 63, yeah, there we go. So we don't need to destroy the PMR anymore, so we can just remove this line here. Cool. Let's see if it gives any other errors. It shouldn't, but we can always check. Cool. Let's see. What I want to do is I want to play the game and test it out to make sure that it works. So we're just going to play, and yeah, it's working. Cool. So now we are going to start by playing the animation for the player whenever he moves. And to start off with that, we are going to go to the skeletons folder, and we're going to go to the animation directory. So next up, I want to highlight these 3 animations if you're using the same character, or else you can highlight every single one of them. And inside of rig, in the inspector menu, you're gonna go to generic, like the animation type generic, and then pick legacy, and then apply. So it's going to apply, and we have the animations now as legacy. Now we can go back to the player inside of our hierarchy, and let's see which one is DS1 idle, attack, walk. Okay, so can I rename these? Yeah. So I'm gonna rename attack 1 to only attack so that we know which one is actually attack. And this one is going to be idle, and this one is going to be walk. Cool, so that we just keep an eye on it. It just becomes easier for me. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to go to the player, and instead of animations, I'm going to unfold animations and say 3. So we're gonna have 3 elements here. Now, you can see that idle is already added, so we don't really have to play around with that. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to drag in the attack animation in here, and I'm also going to drag, I'm also going to drag in the walk one here. There we go. Let's see. We can also drag the actually we don't really need to, because we're also going to take care of that with coding. I was planning on like having a animation that is going to be the starting one, but we don't need it because we're already going to code it, so yeah. Let's see now. Bool moving. Okay, so that can be used as an idle bool as well. And I want to delete the private bool's PMR spawn. There we go. And let's see, if moving is equal move. So we're calling this function here. And if we have PMR, we don't need this if statement either, because we already have a PMR all the time, so we don't need that. Cool. And now what I want to do is, I could create an animation, but I don't know. Yeah, that would actually be a lot more easy, I guess. We can say, inside of the variables section, we can say animation anim. Okay, so now in void start, I want to say anim is equal to get component dot, or we could just say like these square or like arrow brackets. I don't know what you call them. Tags. There we go. HTML. I remember. So we can say animation and then parentheses and end it. So this is basically going to get the animation that we just created as an animation component of this player. So what I want to do next is I want to go back to move, and I want to say anim dot, I think we can actually just say play or like crossfade, and then the animation file name, which is going to be, yeah, they had a long name, didn't they? I wonder if we can actually rename the animations, which I doubt, but we can try. If we go to animations, I think we can. So I want you to go to, like, I want to go to every single one of these animations and just rename them to whatever they are called. So this one is walk, apply. This one is idle, and apply by clicking another. There we go. And this one is called attack. Cool. So we're gonna apply that again. Nice. So we can go to player and see if they have renamed. Cool, they have. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to say crossfade. What was it called? Walk, right? Let's see. I'm actually unsure if this is going to work, but it should be, because we're already getting the components, and crossfade is a part of the component animation, which is like a function. So it should be fine. But we're gonna test it out. Did I save the script? Yeah, I did. Cool, cool. Let's see. Let's see if that works. Okay, that works. Cool. So now you can see that it's not turning to idle because we haven't programmed it yet. So we're gonna go back to Visual Studio and say if moving and then else. We could either play the animation through here, or else we could have like an idle function. I guess we could start by having an idle function, and just to make sure that even if we like come back to it and want to create something new for the idle animation, like for whatever the status of player is, depending on idle, we can come back to the void and make it easier for ourselves, so that we don't have to edit code as much as we usually do. There we go. And then we can say anim.crossfade idle. There we go. Cool. So we can go back to Unity. I just want to test it out to make sure that it's working. It's not playing after. Oh, we're not turning moving to false, right? Moving true. We want to say trigger in PMR, and we say here. We can say if triggering PMR moving is equal to false. There we go. That should work. Let's try it out again. So we start with the idle. We where is the player move point? It's there. Now, why is it saying that we are triggering it when we clearly are not? Oh, I see. It's because of the onTrigger function, because we don't have a onTrigger exit. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna create a new function called onTrigger exit, and then collider other. There we go. If other.tag is equal to PMR, triggering PMR is equal to null. Or hold on, Oh, I forgot that we actually didn't make it a bool anymore. Triggering PMR, I usually have like triggering as a boolean, so I forgot that we are having a game object with it. But we can still have this. Or no, we can't have it. But why am I even setting triggering PMR to... Oh yeah, it's because we had several different types of objects. So what we can actually do to make it easy for ourselves is we can turn this to true and go to triggering PMR in variable section and then say private bool instead of game object. Let's see if it gives any errors here. Nope. Why did I delete void on trigger exit? So let's go back to void on trigger exit. We're just making it so much easier now, and we're gonna set this to false. Let me check if I forgot about something. Nope, it actually seems to be good. If triggering PMR, we should set it to false by having an exclamation mark in the beginning. So if not triggering PMR, then moving is equal to false. Or hold on. No, actually it's right. It should be triggering PMR, yeah. I'm just being a little bit flimsy. There we go. Let's see if that works. Yeah, that's working, cool. Now it's stuttering once, and I'm not sure why, because it's still moving. But that's actually really weird. I don't know why it's doing that. Let me print out print triggering PMR. If triggering PMR, well, yeah, kind of like that. That should be right. I mean, it should be working fine, but I think I'm just making a simple mistake. Oh, so it's true at the beginning, right? Because we are spawning it at the player's spawn point. Okay, so it becomes true. Oh, and then it becomes false. But it still keeps on being false afterwards anyway. Let me check this. What if we say... We could just disable PMR at the beginning. Or else I could just say PMR.get component box collider dot enable because of false. And then we could just set it to true as soon as we click the mouse. There we go. And then we set it to true. Let me just test it out. If it doesn't work, we're gonna remove it and try something else. But it should be working. I mean, the code looks fine, but I just want to make sure that it's working. The first time it worked. So it's simply bugging out at get... Okay, I see. Okay, so an easy fix to this is basically if we go where we actually move with the player, and underneath moving is equal to true, we just say triggering PMR is equal to false. So now that we can test the game, it's actually working. It's because we simply don't turn triggering PMR to false as soon as we start moving, and that's why the player is not trying to move, because we are setting if triggering PMR is equal to true, then moving is equal to false, which, you know, handicaps the move function. So we're always in like idle at the start. So we're just simply saying now triggering PMR is equal to false as soon as we start by moving, because obviously we're not in the triggering PMR state. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's now working. At least we have a moving animation, and we also have a idle animation. Let's see. I think that we could actually have some time to work on the attacking system. So in order to make an attack system, I want to first and foremost add like a hit doll, as I like to call them, into my scene. So we can create a new cube right here, scale it up like that, and move it up a little bit. There we go. Maybe like here, I don't know. Scale it down, and like that. Cool. So let's see, we can call this hit doll, and we can actually drag this into game necessary prefabs just so that we have it. Let me see, we can actually create a material instead of game necessary prefabs too. Let's see there. Enemy material, I guess we could call it, and then just turn it red like that. And we can drag it onto our hit doll, and then the hit doll, we're gonna drag it onto our hit doll prefab so that we replace it. There we go. So now we have a red prefab of the hit doll. Let's see. Okay, so I guess we could just start by tagging this as a enemy. So we're gonna go to tag, we're gonna add a new tag, and we're gonna say enemy. And now we're gonna go back to hit doll, and we are going to tag it as enemy. And we're also going to go to game necessary prefabs, hit doll, and then tag this as enemy as well. So that whenever we drag a hit doll into our scene, it's going to be tagged as enemy. Great. Let's see, we can go back to C# or Visual Studio. Let's see what we can do here. We're gonna try to create a new what do you call it? Untrigger enter, trigger enter collision. So we're gonna say if other.tag is equal to enemy, triggering enemy is equal to true, and then the same thing we're gonna do in onTrigger exit. Oops, like that, and then we're basically going to say triggering enemy equals to false. Cool. We're gonna create a new boolean called we can say private bool triggering enemy. There we go. And to clean this mess up a little bit, we're gonna say enemy vars, or like, yeah, enemy, and then we're gonna say, we're gonna drag this into here, and we're gonna say let's see, player, and then we're gonna say PMR. Cool. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Just so that we have it a little bit cleaned up, and then we're gonna make some space in between functions and then the variables. Nice. Let's see here now. We can also say private game object enemy, or like underline enemy. And this is going to be the one that we want to use for whatever enemy we are triggering with. So we're gonna set a boolean triggering enemy to true, and then we're also going to set underline enemy is equal to other.game object. There we go. If other.tag, and on trigger exit we can say underline enemy is equal to null. There we go. So that we don't save the same enemy for the security reason of our game. I did save it, right? I'm having some trouble with saving and memorizing. Let's see. Okay, so let me just check this real quick here. So we have the animation added as a attack. Great, and we can just simply start playing the animation as soon as we get close to the enemy. What I want to do is I want to go back to C# and I want to say player, oh whoops, there we go, and I want to say public float attack timer. This is going to be the amount of time we have to wait before, like the margin of attacking while we are waiting for the next attack. So let me see here. Let's say that we can actually start by setting the attack timer to something. Like let's say 1 second or like 1.5 seconds. Like that. This is just like a test value, but yeah, let's just have it at 1.5. So now we can say, we can go to if inside of void update we can say if triggering enemy attack. So this is a new void that we're gonna create, and inside of underneath public void move we're gonna set public void attack. There we go, and we are simply going to say anim.crossfade. Oh, and also we can set, it's going to be a little bit harsh on idle function, but we can set something to it. We can say, let me think here. We could just set like a new variable which is going to be called, let me just move this here. And then we can say private bool idle or attacking. There we go. And we're gonna say here idle, where is it? Idle. We're gonna say else if idle or attacking attack, else idle. There we go. Let's see. That's correct, right? Yeah. So we're basically saying if we're moving, we're gonna call move function. If we are attacking, we're gonna call attack function, or else if both of these are not filled, we're just simply going idle. And let's say here attack. Let's see. We don't need to fill this anymore. Let's see. I guess we could try this out soon. I just need to set the attacking variable to, or the boolean to true. So we're gonna say triggering enemy if triggering enemy attack. Let's say transform that look at underline enemy. Oh, it's a point transform or dot transform. There we go. We also need to make sure that the enemy is, or the player is starting to attack the enemy as soon as we, click on the enemy. So we're gonna say, let's see. I need to make sure that this is working. I guess we could just say if triggering enemy. Yeah, it's like going to automatically read if we're actually in collision with the enemy. So let's try that out. Oh, and also we need to go to cube, or the hit all, sorry. And we need to extend box collider and make it is trigger. There we go. And we can actually add a new box collider to this as well and not make it is trigger, so that we don't walk through the object. There we go. So let's try this out. Okay, so it's attacking now, and this is pretty much working right now. Let's see. Okay, so what we can actually do is we can extend the box collider a little bit. Like that. Actually, now that I remember, this isn't like if the enemy is moving, it's going to not follow the enemy. So what we need to do is we need to detect if we are actually clicking on an enemy, because this is going to be a bad example. So what we're going to do is, instead of input.get mouse button down 0, we can say if other.tag is equal to, or wait, we don't have a tag. We can say, okay, so we can start by actually adding a new variable underneath ray. So we can say raycast hit, and then inside of here, in if input.get mouse button down, we can say if let's see, raycast or physics.raycast, right? Physics.raycast, and then hit or ray out hit. So we're outputting the hit that we actually just created, and then we're going to say like print. Actually, we can just say like, yeah, let's try if this actually works first. So we can say hit.collider.gameObject name. That should work fine. Okay, so let's go ahead and play the game and see if this actually works again. I tried this out on my own just to make sure that it's working, but I still want to try it now. Okay, good. Nice. So now the player is rotating because we also have... Let me actually try to see if we can fix it by adding the rigid body or editing the rigid body a little bit. So freeze rotation Y. Let's see if that works. Yeah, the box collider is having a little bit trouble with that. Let's see, what kind of we have a box collider on the player too. Why is it oh, we are looking at it. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, I remember that. Well, we're gonna fix it anyway. But first and foremost, I just want to make sure that the attacking is working fine. Let's see. Now we can say triggering enemy. So underline enemy is pretty much going to be removed from here and from here, like that. Because we don't need to play around with triggering anymore. So we're just going to delete the print part 2. And we're gonna say underline enemy is equal to Maybe we should rename underlying enemy. We can rename it to attacking enemy. I think that should be fine. Yeah, attacking enemy. There we go. Just change it up a little bit in the script, like in this line here, 105. Let's see. So we can say, I think we could just say attacking enemy. We could also call it targeted enemy. I'm so bad at names. Attacking enemy is equal to, what was it called? Collider.GameObject. Let's see if that works. Oh, hit.collider, sorry. There we go. So we're basically setting the attacking enemy that is targeted right now into the whatever enemy we are actually hitting with the raycast. So, and we also need to set triggering enemy. Okay. We can actually, we need to keep these two, but what I want to do is I want to create a new one and say, let me just think real quick here. I could just say private bool, or wait, we can actually check if we're not triggering with the enemy, and then we can just follow it for like endless until we actually trigger it. So we can say, hold on, we are calling moving is equal to true. Yeah, we can actually say, you know what, we're actually going to create a new private boolean and say private bool following enemy. Okay. Or we could actually say targeted enemy, target enemy, or following enemy. There we go. So let's see, underneath attacking enemy we're gonna say following enemy is equal to true. Nice. We can also say else. I don't want that to happen. Attacking enemy is equal to null. Following enemy is equal to false. Oh, there. So what this is going to do is when we click on the enemy, we're going to set following enemy to true and attacking enemy to whatever object we just clicked on. And I should also check for the name. Hold on. So we're gonna cut this and say if hit.collider.tag is equal to enemy. Oh, there we go. Then this is going to happen. Else attacking enemy is going to be null and the following enemy is equal to false, which means that when we click somewhere else rather than the enemy, we're going to set these two to false, which is exactly what we need. So let's see, and instead of move we can literally just say hold on here, anim.crossfade walk. Okay, we could actually remove or like cut these two lines, transform that position and just start transform that look at, and say if attacking or following enemy then make braces, else, there we go. I hate when this happens. There we go. In the else situation we're gonna set these two, and in here we're gonna say I can actually copy this and then say transform that position vector 3 move towards. We don't want to move towards the PMR anymore. We want to move against the enemy, attacking enemy dot transform that position. There we go. And we also want to say this dot transform dot look at enemy or attacking enemy dot transform. There we go. Oh, capital A, there we go. Now the thing is, when we are triggering the enemy we want to stop moving, and when we are, so we need to make sure that we include that here. We want to say if following enemy, if triggering enemy is equal to false, or that's gonna be removed, then we paste this, else we're gonna say, oh my gosh, I hate this. I need to remove this from Visual Studio. And then we're gonna say attack. Triggering enemy, we already called this here. I don't know if these two are literally the same, but we could actually try it out without the if part. So let's go to the game and see how it works. Let's see here. So we start attacking, and what if we start moving the hit doll now? Okay, so the enemy is, yeah, the player is walking towards it. Nice. So this is working. Cool. So pretty much this is like the attack system for the moment, but I can also add like, let's say go back to variable section and then say public float damage. We need to, actually I don't think we need to set it to public static. We can just get the component from the enemy script when we actually create it. So now we can go back to player. I actually want to make this a little bit more fun. So we can say public float mean damage, and then we can say public float max damage. So we're gonna randomize the damage value. Let's see. Then we can say instead of attack here, we can say at the beginning we can just say what was this function called? I'm actually gonna check. Hold on. Oh yeah, now I remember. I'm just so old now. So we're gonna say random.range, and then we're gonna say min damage, comma max damage. Oh, and we need to say damage is equal to this. So random.range. There we go. Now we can actually test it out in Unity, and don't forget to edit the values at first. So we go down to, and I also remember something. We go back to C# and make public float to private float for damage, because we don't need to see that. Oh, I forgot to say. There we go. Cool. Let's see how that works out. Okay, so let's say minimum damage is going to be 10, and maximum damage is 25. Let's play the game, I was gonna say, but first and foremost, I also want to print out. Let me just see what else I'm printing. Print triggering PMR. Okay, we can remove this. And now we can start printing the attack. So we can say print damage. Great. Let's see here. Now we can play the animation again and see how it works. So we can just clear these two warnings. Ooh, this is going way too fast. What we need to do is, let's see here. I had a variable for waiting. Private float, public float, attack timer. Okay, so we're gonna have to say attack. Okay, we're gonna create a new private bool and say private bool attacked. And then we are going to say, instead of here, we're gonna cut these two and we're gonna say if attacked, and then paste this. And attacked is like with an exclamation mark so that it's false. Else we're gonna say, oh my goodness, I hate this literally so much. Oh my gosh, there we go. God damn it, C#. Let's see, attacked is equal there. And we can also create a new, yeah, we're gonna need a new float too. So we're gonna say private float start or current attack timer. Yeah. Let's see. There we go. I just need to think of this real quick like that. If attacked. Okay. So inside of void update, we can simply say if attacked. We're gonna create a timer for this. If attacked, current attack timer minus equal 1 times time dot time. So we're decreasing that by 1/8 second, and then we're gonna say, oh my gosh, I did that again. How did I? Yeah, control. Let's see here, and then we just say else. Oh, this is going to happen again. I hate it so much. There we go. Now we can say current attack timer is equal to attack timer. And we can copy this, and inside of void start we can actually paste this. There we go. So let's see if I'm doing something correct here. If attacked, else. Yeah, well, we don't even need an else here. There we go. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So if we have attacked, we're going to current attack timer. Okay, wait, hold on. If current attack timer is lower than or equal to 0, we can just paste it. There we go. So here we don't even need an else either. There we go. So if we attack, we're gonna start decreasing current attack timer, and yeah, that's like literally that's pretty much it. So we can actually go to Unity and test it out. It shouldn't spam the damage now if it works. Well, it still does. This is a bit weird now. So we're setting attack to true, aren't we? No, we're not. I'm fucking stupid. Attack to true. There we go. And we also want to say if this is true, then we're gonna set attack to false. There we go. Cool. Now we should work. I hope. We can only hope. Yeah, great. Alright, cool. So now it's working. As you can see, we're randomizing the value for damage as well, so it's a little bit more fun. But now the animation is not playing completely, so we need to say let's see, we can cut these two parts out because they don't have to do anything with the like attacking function or the process. At least they're just a part of the entirety. So we can try this out now. There we go. Alright, now it's working. Cool. So if we start by removing this, yeah, great. Alright, so we are, yeah, this is pretty much working. As long as we are triggering with it, it's going to print out a new value too, or else it's not printing a value as well. So because we're not dealing any damage. So this is really good. And this is pretty much it for the moment being. Like towards the final of these, like to the final of, like, what am I saying? Towards the final of the series, we're gonna start finalizing the entire game. And we are also going to finish these like products that we are creating right now. These are not finished. These are not, you know, very serious. Like they are serious, but they're just templates for the moment being. But soon enough, we're actually going to add some finalizing touches and find these systems that we're creating. But with that being said, guys, I hope you all enjoyed this episode more than the last one because this one was a little bit more smooth, I felt like. And on top of that, if you did enjoy, make sure to leave a like down below. It really supports me a lot. And also hit the subscribe button if you haven't already in order to stay up to date for new videos coming soon. And leave a comment what you would like to see in the next episode of whatever video I make. Maybe it's a tutorial again. Maybe it's like a commentary that a lot of people hate on my channel. Maybe it's a level design. Who knows? I'm actually going to try making a level design. But yeah, with that being said, guys, I hope you all enjoyed. See you guys in the comments. See you guys. Bye-bye. Peace out.
Watch out, oh watch out, oh watch out, yeah. I smash out, I smash out, I smash out,